Hello, how we getting on? Um, well, I hope everything is going well for you, whatever endeavour you happen to be at. I'm still here in the States, and it's actually quite cold today. Uh, Sun's shining, but it's still cold, which for an Irish person, this is very, very, very strange. Um, we can have very warm days and no sun. Normally, if our sun's shining, everybody's like lying out like this, trying to see if they can go from off from white to at least some sort of off-white colour. But yeah, it's a very strange thing. Um, but yeah, so still here in Texas. TX. See where I'm going with this? This is TX Texas Straight Bourbon. Now, this is the Firestone and Robertson distillery in Fort Worth in Texas. Now, as I've said before, doing a little bit of a bourbon journey because never been that madly keen on bourbon. But since I've been here, I've been trying a few more. Get a little drop in there. Give it a little swirl around. And let it swish around for a little minute. I'll tell you a little bit about these guys. Now, some of you probably have seen the show that we did a few weeks ago with Rob Arnold about his book, The Terroir of Whiskey, and his time as working as the head distiller at TXBourbon, Firestone and Robertson. And a very, very, very engaging guy, very clever, well versed in everything that he talks about. He's doing a PhD, so obviously he's going to be. But this is a culmination of a lot of different elements coming into it. Now, bourbon, as we know, doesn't have to be made in Kentucky or anything like that. It's not a regional status, it's how it's made. And Texas lends itself quite well to this. It's a huge state. It's absolutely enormous. I mean, it's like the size of Western Europe, or it's just an enormous place. And yeah, there's lots of different variations all over. As you can imagine, some as big as that. But what they've done with this is they've taken different elements. The care that's went into this is really about the ingredients. The yeast that they use was got off a pecan nut. Now there's pecan groves all over the place around here. The corn that went into it, normally it's just yellow dent corn. You just send off, buy your corn, get it down, mash it up. But they've done different things here. They've looked for that terroir, something similar to what they did in Waterford. And if you read Rob Arnold's book, he goes to Waterford, he goes down and meets Ned and Grace and Mark and so on down there. So they went and done this. Now they take a bit of pride in all of this and in what they do. Now, I'll give you a price for this. This was about $50, something like that. There is their unique yeast that they cultivate it themselves, or isolate it and cultivate it themselves. Why did they do that? To give it their own taste. To see that to do that. It's just sometimes it's just the effort of doing it, and the results of it come out themselves, and they can say, this is our yeast, this is the flavour we get from using a different yeast than brewer's yeast. They have the different mash bills. So this is corn, wheat and barley. The corn is, I'll have to right this down, soft red winter with wheat, and then 6-row distiller's malt. So obviously they've set out to aim for a type of spirit, and this is what they want to do. Now Rob has since moved on. He wants to go and do some other projects and so on and so forth, which is whatever he's going to do, he's going to be good at, I would imagine, because it's he's that kind of guy. Now, let's give it a little go around the glass. Now, the reason I'm tasting, or the reason I'm nosing twice there, I got a note that I didn't get. Obviously, I've tried this a few times before, and I note that I didn't. It's got a little amalgamation of notes that I had before. It's tropical fruit, banana, baked banana, toffee banana, that sort of cooked element, slightly sugary, slight floral note that a little bit out of balance with the tropical baked note. It's a little bit sharp, and it's one of the reasons it's sharp is it's 45%. Yeah, 45%. So the alcohol is probably pushing the floral note a little bit to the detriment, a little bit of the banana, the tropical fruit, the baked notes, the baked goods, that kind of style of thing. Tell you what, I'll give it a wee taste before I put a wee touch of water on it, but I know it's going to take a touch of water. Yeah. Big hit of spice straight up. Sort of allspice, there's a lot of spice there. Then again, I'm actually on the finish here. It comes down, there's actually a nice custardy note that comes in there. Yeah, custard, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of treacle. But I'm going to put a little touch of water on it, not a huge amount, just a little bit. Just to bring down the ABV a little bit and allow a little bit more of the tropical notes to come up through. It's okay it's quite preferable in many ways to have a higher ABV, but if you want the best out of your whiskies, that little bit of water, bringing down the ABV, you can play with it. That's the point of having high ABVs. You want to have it that you can do what you like to it. It can take that little bit. Let's move out of the shot there. You can take that little bit of calming down, relaxing, letting it just move out through. And that has brought the ABV down enough that allows the floral notes to actually start to blend with the more deeper notes, the richer notes, the notes that are probably the mainstay of the whiskey. The lighter notes we're doing this. Now they've kind of moved in like this and start playing a little, rock-a-bye baby. They're actually mingling with each other. Now what you're getting is really like a baked good. It's really quite nice. You're getting these burnt sugars, caramelized sugar, heavy caramelized sugars, over the top of nice baked fruit, figs, dates, sultanas, that style, deep sort of charred sugars that actually sort of stick to your mouth. Now the finish, I find with lots of these bourbons, there's not great finishes to them. And what I mean by not great finish, there's not massive development. You're You're getting the thing set to you. This is what it is. It's quite nice, it's quite pleasant, it's quite tasty, but it doesn't run through a sort of gamut of flavours that a very aged Scotch or Irish whiskey would do. What it's doing is it sets itself up. Boom, this is us. Boom, it sticks in your mouth. And that's pretty much what you get. You're getting nice, reasonable, balanced sugars, some nice fruits. The floral notes that you get on the nose kind of disappear and lead out to a much more sort of heavier, deeper flavour of fruit, and that toffee sugar notes that come through. So yeah, this is a nice spirit. There's absolutely no way about it. I kind of like the detailing in this, you know, with this little sort of leather for Texas. If you've you know, if you're a Western fan, a little bit of that's kind of what you would be expecting, and a little bit of, I think that, I don't know whether that's real leather or not. Probably over here it probably is, but yeah, there's a wee bit there, sort of peel off. See if that's real leather. It smells like real leather. I'm going to say it is. I can't be 100% sure, because they make decent pleather these days, you know, your sort of fake leather, but I think that's probably real. Over here, if it was fake leather, there's a possibility you make it short or something, you know. But yeah, so yeah, TXBourbon, Firestone and Robertson distillery. Again, I've mentioned this about a few of these. Expect to see more of this starting to appear, because people will start to take a little bit more pride in their bourbons and in their spirits. And I don't mean that any of the people beforehand didn't, but there's more thought and more craft going into these, and they're getting pumped out by lots and lots and lots of different producers, and it's nice to see different takes on things, people putting a little bit more care, concern, consideration into their different spirits, releasing them at slightly higher ABVs, not really concentrating just so much on the price point, and concern themselves more on what's actually in the glass, and let people come to them for the price, and that's a good thing too. I've said it before, there's spaces for all these different things. You've got the guys who come in at the entry level, and as they come in at the entry level, allows people to try different styles of whiskey, different types, different brands, different mash bills, different whatever. It allows them to come in and get it. But as you sort of move on, things will start to happen, and it'll come up to a point where you'll spend a little bit more money on something a bit special, and be confident that you're going to get something that'll be of decent quality and standard, and maybe not be to your taste. Can always be, but there you go. So yeah, how do I mark this? I'll definitely give this a good sort of 7.5 out of 10. 7.5, and that gives you an idea of roughly where I think about it, where it would be on the scale of reckoning. Yeah, so keep an eye out for TXBourbon. I get a feeling they're going to be one of the ones that will sell lots and lots and lots moving forward. And to be fair, the size of this place, there's any God's pile of potential customers, potential room, potential everything that is the big country now, big state anyway. So take care of yourselves, guys, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Catch me and Justin every Saturday night on the Irish Whiskey Review. Take care.